this is Nate Shot going over the whole situation of being forced to quit
I
COD
think there's a really
because
big problem with Call of Duty right now,
of the
and
problems
this
that
problem
happen.
has been an issue since the game was released, or in my opinion, actually, when they released Rank Play. I actually love this game, brother. I love Black Ops 6. The core mechanics are addictive. I think they're rewarding. I think the gunfights are fun when you feel like you've had a fair gunfight. But ever since Rank Play was released, I think Call of Duty, all the shortcuts that they have taken from a server performance, a server protection, I think Call of Duty has just continued to take shortcuts over and over and over again when it comes.
And I think also, I don't know, I haven't seen Nate Shot talk about this like whatsoever. I've just seen him post the video, and I knew I was gonna react to it anyway. But they don't have the best anti cheat at the moment. They really don't. Um, I wish they did. For the game that a lot of people do enjoy, I wish they did show the the ground that it stands on. I wish it did work. Is what I'm getting,
Comes to
getting to.
investing in the health and quality of the game. You know, this has been a really big complaint from my perspective, from my end, for many, many years now. You know, if you take a Call of Duty player and you send them over to a game like Valorant, where the game itself from the ground up was built around making sure that you have a fair and competitive gaming experience when
I
you
agree.
tap into a game of ranked, but not only, you know, like the health and quality of the game, but also the way that it feels when you're playing on those servers. I think if you boil it down to a number, Valorant servers are comparable to like 128 tick rate. Tick rate is, you know, from the Village Idiot over here's understanding of it, how often the server is like pinging back and forth to each player. And like the way that your
Yeah,
bullets
bad, by
connect
the
and
way.
the
It's
way
really
that
bad.
the game reacts to your input on the keyboard and mouse versus other players is how quickly you're getting a response back from the server. For anyone that doesn't know, Call of Duty for years, I mean, really since like I think the dawn of Call of Duty, they are on 10 to 16 to 20 something tick rate servers. Listen, I'm not trying to speak objective facts, I would say, just because I don't have a network background. Warzone is 10 tick rate for pubs, 20 for ranked, and multiplayer is dynamic up to 24. When I hear that compared to what I've experienced on Valorant and what they provide over on Counter-Strike, they're not even in the same ballpark, dude. They're not even in the same category of class when it comes to the pub.
And I get they're trying to be different, but how are they trying to be different but really standing out to the crowd by sucking at being different, right? They're I think everyone's just frustrated at the moment.
Publisher and what the studios that have created the game are actually providing for the community. I just think that is a massive, massive, massive problem that has gone overlooked for so long when it comes to Call of Duty. I think that they have always prided or taken a lot of pride in. They've had a massive player base, just hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people playing this game over the course of the last 2 decades.
Yep.
And for a long time, I think this game has always been like, oh, I'm coming home from work and I'm going to play with the boys for a couple hours and I'm going to kick back a few brewskis. And
you
from
can't.
my perspective, I think Call of Duty has taken pride in that type of audience that
Prior to, yes, and it seems like people want to do it now, but they're just unable to. They've taken pride in how people wanted to game. I don't know if what Nate's gonna say here, but um, people were wanting to go home from school, from work, and just play the game with their friends, right? But it seems like now when people come home, they're like, I don't really want to play it.
type of casual player base. And so they've never really felt the need to invest in servers that perform better and
Correct.
faster and more efficiently, because I think they believe that the players that are truly making up the network of players that they have, you know, using their game and playing their game every day, they won't notice the difference. And they don't actually care.
But they do.
And so if they
We
don't
do
actually
notice the
care and this is a
difference.
casual game, then why are we going to spend more money on server performance when we're not going to see any benefit to it? And I don't mean us as players. I mean, you know, ourselves as if we're talking from Activision's perspective. That is one of the biggest reasons why we continue to be served just a handful of shit every single year when we play this game. Honestly, if I'm sitting back from Activision's perspective, one of the worst decisions they could have made, even though we had been asking and begging for it for years, was to introduce ranked play into the ecosystem of Call of Duty. As the video game industry has grown, I think the focus of Twitch, at least beyond Grand Theft Auto and a few other outliers, people love to play games that are competitive, that have a ranked system that is rewarding and rewards you for getting better at the game.
And besides that, with ranked, people do enjoy getting better at the game and the incentives that come with it. But then there are also times where people who are playing ranked who want to chill and just they use the public matches as warm-ups before they go into ranked, whether it's a multiplayer, rebirth, big map, non-ranked, before they get into ranked. So
and for me,
they use
as a young
fun
kid,
time before they get into the
play
high intensity
in any
version
game
of it.
is the only reason what gets me hooked. It's the only thing that makes me want to play it more. I love to be competitive against other players. I love to have a rank next to my name in the game to show how much better I've gotten at the game. And that to me is the reward system. That's what, stimulates my brain to say, ooh, I'm going to play this again tomorrow. The problem is Call of Duty finally gave us rank play, but they didn't go all in. It was almost as if they finally bent the knee to all of these requests and the desire from a small portion of the community. And I think eventually, even if they didn't add rank play for multiplayer, because I think the competitive makeup of the overall community that plays the game is still pretty small in comparison to the casual players. I think that they were feeling pressure from other games like Fortnite adding in a ranked mode and all these other titles bolstering a ranked play system that was keeping players engaged and wanting to come back and play the game the next day. So I think ranked play would have been introduced eventually, but I certainly think the vocal minority pressured Activision to introduce ranked play some years ago, but they never really went all in. Ranked play has been broken time after time after time. The biggest disappointment from my perspective is that Treyarch actually did an incredible job of creating a game that is fun to play. The core mechanics of Black Ops 6, like I said at the beginning of this conversation, are unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think it's one of my favorite games that I've had in my hands in a very long time. The House of Lies, I would call it. It's like houses being built. I was trying to think of an analogy before I started the stream that would make sense the way that I see Call of Duty. Newer homes, they look great. It seems great. But they use shortcuts, cheap materials. You move into this fucking thing and it's broken. The construction is just shitty, shoddy, cheap materials. The people that are building it, they don't give a fuck. They're just trying to get it done. You got
quicker. They're trying to
nails
get it done
exposed
quicker so they
in the
get paid.
drywall. All the plumbing is fucked.
Yep.
There's nothing in this home that actually works properly. It looks good, but once you get in there and you live there for 6 months, the damn thing is falling apart.
Yep.
That's what Call of Duty feels like to me. From a network perspective, from an anti-cheat perspective. The game itself, Treyarch did their job. The game is fun. The mechanics are fun. But once you start playing the game, if you actually spend time, meaningful time playing this game, it does not work properly. Whoever is running...
It reaches an all-time high, but once you're at that peak, it dips down so fast, it's not even funny.
The
You're just
game
like, what
from
happened?
a server and network perspective, I don't know if that direct order comes from Activision. I don't know who is making the decisions for the servers that we play on. But if I get into a ranked game of multiplayer, there's 3 things that are going to happen. One of the 3 things are guaranteed to happen. You're either going to be playing somebody who is blatantly hacking and aim locking or closet walling. Some of these guys are really good at hiding.
Some of them are good,
cheat.
some of them
so that's strike one.
don't even know how to do it yet.
There's no authentic experience. The game itself, there is no authenticity behind my experience with the game. The second thing that's going to happen is if they are cheating and they're about to lose the game, then they lag out the server, bro. They DDoS the server. They send a egregious amount of packets on Activision's network, and then it lags out the entire game. Everybody gets sent back to the lobby. Nobody gets
It's crazy how the cheats have just advanced so much over the years, isn't it? Like before, cheats were just basically you could, I mean, CS2, you could wall and you could see the boxes. Warzone 1 with Verdansk, you could actually like you can tell when people are walling hacking. You can see when they're aim locking. In fact, they could even show a whole 300 POV, and you can see the fact that they've got the boxes around it too. They can see the lines pointing to everyone. Um, we've come such a long way to cheating, and I'm not endorsing it, but I'm just kind of shocked on how these sites are still around. Like no one's gone after them. Why?
Gets SR, so I just wasted 10 minutes of my time. That's strike number 2. And then strike number 3 is I play a game that, all things considered, the players on the other team seem normal, and I feel like I'm about to have a normal game. Skyline hardpoint. But then I look up left at my telemetry or whatever the hell you call it.
Yeah.
It says I'm on 20 ping, and but I've got like a half a second delay on my bullets being shot from my gun. Yeah. And I feel like I'm just getting absolutely pissed on, even though this number is telling me that I have a low ping, a low digit ping. But it feels fucking terrible. It feels like I'm playing COD 4. Bro,
I've been on that spectrum of where I've had, like, I know it's not the best ping, but I've been on like a 30 to 40 ping up to where it goes like 500, 700 to 1,000. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. If I'm the only one home, because I share internet with other people, my ISP is weird. But when I'm the only one home, and no one else is using it, why am I at such a high ping for that match?
This role, like,
for the game
I can't even begin to explain to you how real this memory is. Back when I was a pro player in COD 4, all the tournaments were online. Every single tournament we played was online. And they had these things called pro circuit ladders. It was basically like game battles. You sign up, you get your boys, you pay $120, and you could play on this like paywall pro circuit ladder that would qualify you for the national championship later that year if you placed high enough. And there was a team called ATZ, and all 4 players were from California. And so if you played them and they were the higher seed on the ladder, they had a better record, they were like a top 10 team, that means that they would host 2 out of the 3 games that you played versus them. Jeez. And all 4 of them on a West Coast California host. It was almost impossible to beat them. It was almost impossible to beat them
all the
because the network delay between you pinging to their host across the country, it was almost impossible to overcome that. And I'm not even kidding, and I do not say this lightly, and I'm not trying to be dramatic. Bro, I'll be on a server here in Texas pinging to Atlanta where I got 17 to 20 millisecond ping.
Yeah.
I feel like that I'm still in 2008 playing on that West Coast server. There is no consistency with the network that you play on, these servers that you play on.
But Valorant, CS2, Apex, Fortnite, their server stability is a whole lot better. So what are they doing right that COD
I think that has a lot to do with the low tick rate that we play on and have continued to play on in Call of Duty. I don't have a network background. I do not have a network engineer degree. But I'm telling you that after playing Valorant and playing other games that actually invest in the health of their servers, we are playing a game that is built for 2024, but performs like a game from 2008. And I would imagine that is motivated and is implemented in Call of Duty. Their server health exists in that way because they don't want to spend more money on more capable servers.
A multi-billion-dollar company doesn't want to invest into server stability for their community over however many million people they said the other day. The other day they said there was like over something odd million people that play this game, right? Multi-billion-dollar company that doesn't want to invest into their player base.
The problem is Call of Duty has these great homes. They look beautiful. You think you want to pull the trigger, buy your first home, move in. It was built last year. It's got all the bells and whistles. The photos look great. You walk through it, your first pass, you're like, oh, this is pretty nice. But then you buy the damn home, you move in, you live there for 3 months, everything is broken.
Sucks.
All the materials are cheap. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. You've got a handyman coming out every single month trying to fix something for you. I literally have to pay an aerospace engineer. I'm not even kidding. This guy used to work as an aerospace engineer, and he quit his fucking job to do 15 appointments a day from people in the Call of Duty community spending money to have him come in and optimize their PC, update their motherboards, tweak their GPUs and their CPUs, and literally push these PCs as far as they can, just so that they can get the amount of frames that you should be getting to play Call of Duty. I mean, they're doing fucking open heart surgery on my PC just to get 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 frames because the game is optimized like shit as well. One of the most contentious points over the last 2 years I've seen in Warzone is having this guy, Artist War, literally downloading 3 different programs on your PC and going into your config files just so that you can hear what's actually happening in the game.
And it's not to bash on him because Artist War audio, for what people have said, it's really good. But the fact that people have to do what he's doing, he's basically created this fire, he's gone around the firewall to go, hey, if you just take this route and go behind this, you can hear better. And everyone's like, oh, sweet, so they do it. Then, a month later, he's like, hey, you want to hear better audio because of this update? Take another route around this firewall. You got it, right? Not literally a firewall, but he's making it better. He's basically doing the work of the devs.
And you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you don't optimize your audio, you're going to get fucking slammed. True. And if you do optimize your audio, then everybody tells you, oh my God, you're fucking cheating, bro. This is an unfair gaming experience. I mean, there is so much that you have to do in order to feel like you're playing a fair game of Call of Duty. And those are just the things that you can control. No matter how set up you are with a PC, no matter how tweaked you have your audio to make sure that you can play a real game, as soon as you get into the server, we got to go back to those 3 strikes we just talked about. We got to go back and talk about the fact that there's somebody cheating in this lobby. If somebody is cheating in the lobby and they feel like they're going to lose, they just lag out the server so nobody wins. And then if you get past all that, there's no cheater in the lobby, the server hadn't been lagged out, you get to step 3, the final fucking frontier. You're on 15 ping, but the game still feels like shit. You got joked in every gunfight. You watch the kill cam. This guy looks like he's chewing on the drywall that these construction workers just installed in my home last week, literally gnawing on it. They're in slow motion, and it looks like I wasn't even shooting back at the guy. The game has so many foundational issues that no matter how good Treyarch or Sledgehammer or Infinity Ward or Raven, no matter what they do, they're always going to lose. They're always going to lose too, because Call of Duty does not invest in server health, server protection, and server performance. The game is not meant to be played by this many people. It's not meant to be played competitively. And I damn near feel like it's not even meant to play casually. I love this game. I love Call of Duty. I spent so many years away with it, and then starting to stream again, starting to grind again on MW3, the game felt, for the most part, very fun. But we deal...
And it's I'm not trying to pause too much either, but the fact that you got people who if they're sweating too much, you're like, they might be cheating, right? And the sidebar conversation. Those who why everything, 50-50, there might be cheating. You don't know, right? And when they're doing what they're doing, you know they're going for clips. You know what they're trying to do, right? No scoping, everyone loves to no scope. Don't get me wrong. Positioning, it's always been a thing of the game. Positioning, tact, it's all skill. But when people are starting to cheat in this game, whying, no skill whatsoever, and you're watching this through the spectating. Also, they got to fix some of those bugs, by the way, with spectating. It's difficult. It is frustrating. You lose sense of yourself almost.
We dealt with waves and waves and waves of cheaters. We go through the normal Call of Duty cycle. I go on a Valorant arc, play that for 4 or 5 months, waiting for Black Ops 6. We play the beta, have a lot of fun.
Yeah, everyone switches games, then they come back, and then it...
On with it. We wait a couple more months. The game finally comes out. The game is great. Had a great time with the Dark Matter grind. Had a great time with trying to reach Master Prestige. Wait about a month and a half. Rank play comes out. All smiles. Can't wait to play it. And now just the last 3 weeks have been quite literally
shit.
the most
It's been
miserable gaming experience I've ever had. Every single lobby, somebody's cheating. Team Ricochet comes out with a tweet 2 weeks later
a
after
PR
rank play
tweet.
launches, after literally going through hell. Say, oh, we banned 19,000 accounts. We raised the threshold of our AI systems and our data storage
the
to
AI
better
system.
improve the efficacy of those AI systems. I'm like, what the fuck did you just say to us? What are we talking about? What are you even saying? The cheaters continue to run rampant in ranked. If you scroll through the top 250 of ranked multiplayer, I think there's like 25 out of the top 250 that are real players, real accounts that aren't cheating. I pray for anybody that makes it up to Crimson, Iridescent, or top 250, because every single kill cam you watch, you think everybody just got a gun pointed at each other, accusing everybody of cheating. The gaming experience, it's fucking chalked. I mean, you cannot play this game at a high level and have a normal, healthy experience. Yes, dude, I'm a streamer that makes money from the people at home watching me. And I have made a living off of Call of Duty. And my career is literally what it is today because of Call of Duty. I love the game. I have a lot of friends that work at Activision. I have a lot of friends that work at Treyarch. And I respect what they do at the company and the respective company that they work for. The game literally just came out almost 2 months ago, and I don't want to play it anymore because I don't feel like I'm actually using my time productively. I don't feel...
It's true, right? You're not using your time productively because the fact that a game that you can be skilled in, it doesn't take too much skill anyway, right? You just got to play consistently, fairly consistently. When you're in school, obviously that's one thing. When you're back home, that's another. If you play fairly consistently, you do what needs to be done, you can actually get better at this game in time. Right, in time. I'm decent at the game, but when I'm up against Bumble, TikTok, and Facebook gaming, YYing everywhere, right? I can't do anything, and it's frustrating. Like, what are we doing with ourselves trying to play a game that we cannot play anymore? At this point, if everyone just stops playing Call of Duty, right, and let the cheaters just keep playing it, what is Activision, Ravensoft, Sledgehammer, what are they all gonna say? They can't really come back and go, oh, we're doing great. No, they aren't. The viewership in the category of on Twitch for Warzone and YouTube is down. It's down.
Feel like I'm actually having a fair gaming experience. I don't want to play the game. And I think that's a huge problem. Team Ricochet comes out yesterday,
and I'll read that tweet from
for their
Ricochet
second update about how fucked their game actually is and how little Team Ricochet and their anti-cheat actually work. And they're telling us we're going to have a kernel level driver anti-cheat sometime in season 2, sometime in season 3. Bro, season 1 just came out 25, 30 days ago, a month ago. We just got season 1 reloaded. Bro, there's still 45 days left in season 1. Bro, if it happens anytime in season 3, brother, we're going to be in the summer. As soon as they get this anti-cheat to possibly work properly, it's not even going to fucking matter because as soon as we get to June, July, August, that's when they start slamming us with all the trailers and leaks and hype for the next Call of Duty title. So in my mind, Black Ops 6 is already chalked. Black Ops 6 is dead in the water.
True. So and this is what they tweeted the other day, right? They're like, latest updates on Call of Duty's Ricochet anti-cheat. That they're looking forward. The team is developing major updates for Ricochet anti-cheat systems, including our kernel level driver, brand new server side protections, launching during season 2 and season 3. Not season 1. Obviously, they could do an update, but they won't. More on those updates as we get closer to the season launches. While we continue in our effort, a reminder that there are steps you can take to partner with us in the fight against cheaters, including ensuring your account is two-factor authentication enabled. Basically, you have the things for your, it goes there's a text or you get sent an email for a code. The things you work so hard to earn, basically rank play, camos, whatever, are attractive targets to cheaters who want nice things but don't like to put in the work. True. But I've never seen a cheater take over someone else's account just for the camos or their status. In fact, the cheaters that cheat, right, they will just easily get the camo, unlock it, and then hack everything. Literally. And as always, please report cheaters you see in game. We use these reports in our investigations into new and emerging cheats, and appreciate your efforts to raise those flags for us. I've had cheaters. I alternate my days now, and it this is ridiculous with the anti cheat because it doesn't work. I've had cheaters on cheaters on cheaters. The Ricochet anti cheat team will be continuing its work to fight cheaters throughout the remainder of the month. While we have made progress, we know more needs to be done, and we're eager to share details of our planned major updates coming in the new year. The problem is, they've been on vacation since Thanksgiving. They're gone for an entire month. They haven't updated us on anything. They haven't updated Big Map. They haven't updated Rebirth. They have planned updates, but they haven't changed any weapons. No weapon changes. They've been on vacation since Thanksgiving, and obviously I'm recording this on the 19th of December. They won't be back until what, the second, maybe the third week of January of 2025. Keep an eye out for updates and future progress reports and across social media, particularly on the COD update social account for real time issues. I mean, at this point, I'm just saying it for anyone who, and this is for a small YouTube channel and a small streamer who makes nothing off of either of those two. If you're playing COD, just if we all stop, literally the only people that are left in the game are cheaters. What are they gonna do? Report cheaters for cheating? Like, a cheater reporting someone for cheating is insane. Uh, we're all just frustrated at this point. Like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with the game that we so dear and love for years, and we can't even play it anymore?